From the beginning of this semester in the Learning with Emerging Technologies Theory and Practice class, I was asked to focus my work and study on a particular audience. I chose a group I frequently work with through my current job. Job seekers age 50 and older who may not be as technologically savvy as they need to be in today's workplace. I chose to keep that audience in mind throughout this class as well. Therefore, based on the readings I have done from both classes, I decided for this final project to try and answer the two questions I have struggled with in creating projects to help these job seekers. Which overall 21st century skills framework best articulates what today's employers are looking for in this digital information age? And why do companies today need both digital natives and digital immigrants to expand their digital information technology skills to excel in a competitive global market? In this presentation, I'll argue that the Partnership for 21st Century Skills framework articulates the skill set needed by many of today's employers, and I'll also show that Mitchell Resnick was indeed correct in 2002 when he argued that, quote, digital fluency will become a prerequisite for obtaining jobs, end quote, and I would argue in excelling at them as well. I considered a 2011 report done by Hanover Research that looked at 6 different lists created to articulate 21st century skills. The lists were intended to provide a framework for public education in the United States, but here I looked at them as a possible benchmark for skills necessary for employment in today's digital information workplace. The Partnership for 21st Century Skills seem to be the ones that might indeed give us a framework for today's workplace. There are 3 overarching skill sets and their sub-skill categories. Learning and innovation skills, which include critical thinking and problem solving, collaboration, creativity and innovation, the information, media and technology skills, and the life and career skills that included flexibility and adaptability, initiative and self-direction, productivity, leadership, and responsibility. So we're going to look at today's workplace to see if, in fact, this Partnership for 21st Century skill set works well. So what does a workplace of today look like? Well, there are still plenty of bricks and mortar offices, stores, educational facilities, and manufacturing spaces all over the country. But with the advent of the internet and this digital information age we are in has drastically changed how and where millions of employees work. Even in 1998, Wayne Cascio from the University of Colorado, Denver, had a keen eye to our reality. He said, consider the new paradigm of work. Anytime, anywhere, in real space or in cyberspace. For many employers, the virtual workplace is a reality now. A seamless web of electronic communications media makes teamwork and mobility a reality. Today, more and more businesses find themselves using national and international virtual teams, teleworkers, and employees working from multiple office locations and out in the field. Companies are using webinars, video conference and conference calls, business intranet systems, and today's digital devices via Wi-Fi and the internet to stay connected and do business in a global digital world. The presence of the computer is felt all across our workplace environment today, affecting anyone who uses a touchscreen cash register, a desktop registration system, many automated manufacturing sector production systems, IT, educational, financial, and information sectors, small, medium, and large businesses, local, national, and global. There are many fewer places where employees do not have to have some level of digital technology skill. In 2011, the United States Department of Commerce reported that 96% of working Americans use new communications technologies as part of their daily life, and 62% of working Americans use the internet as an integral part of their jobs. In addition, a 2014 report done by Connect Ohio, a project helping to train their workforce in the state of Ohio, said that in today's fast-paced workplace, businesses are increasingly relying on broadband technology to attract the best employees, products, goods, and enhance efficiency. And they said 7 out of 10 businesses nationally consider it important or very important for employees to have some internet skills. But unfortunately, 40% of these same businesses report they have had difficult time finding employees with the necessary technical skills. While we often talk about this skill deficit as a digital divide, this semester also taught me about another divide, or perhaps better called a growing tension, that is also characterizing today's workplace: the emergence of the digital native population into a work world still predominantly run by and populated by digital immigrants. Mark Prensky noted that the digital native is the first generation to fully grow up in a digital technology world where they are native speakers of the digital language of computers, video games, and the internet. He noted that because of the ubiquitous and extremely interactive nature of this digital environment, digital natives actually think and process information fundamentally different. Natives will quickly multitask their way to hypertext information steeped in visuals, do so while connected to their peers, and expect to be rewarded often for their fun work style. And then contrast myself, a digital immigrant who understands quite well Mr. Prensky's notion that the digital immigrant is often learning this new language slowly, step by step, one thing at a time, individually, and above all, seriously. I assumed the incoming digital native population was far outpacing my audience, mostly digital immigrants, in offering employers the digital skills they wanted in the workplace, in particular solving information problems using online search skills. So I was looking at two literacy proficiencies for what employees should have today. The first, the information fluency, which came from the 21st Century Information Fluency project, called the ability to find, evaluate, and ethically use digital information efficiently and effectively to solve information problems, and also looking at digital fluency, which Mitchell Resnick said was not only knowing how to use technological skills, but also how to construct things of significance with these tools. To test my assumption about these incoming digital natives, I looked at a report done by Allison J. Head on the learning curve of today's college graduates in the workplace. And the report really helped to, as she said, shed some light on the divide between college hires and their employers when it comes to conducting research and solving information problems, and that it showed that there were many times two separate stakeholders in the workplace, often worlds apart in their time spent in organizations, their year of graduation, and their hours logged onto computers. Ms. Head's findings were obtained through interviews of 23 U.S. employers and focus groups with 33 recent college graduates from 4 U.S. colleges and universities. The employers rated 10 skills and qualities of potential hires in order of importance, including the ability to work in teams, to verbally communicate with others, to make decisions and solve problems, to obtain and process information, to plan, organize, and prioritize information, to analyze quantitative data, to possess technical knowledge related to the job and have a proficiency with computer software programs, to create and edit written reports, and having the ability to persuade or influence others. And I would argue this list really does approximate the components of the Partnership for 21st Century Skills mentioned earlier in the presentation. What I found interesting was the disconnect the employers had in what they thought they would get from many of these recent graduates with their confidence and ease with computers and their online research abilities. The employers later wondered if they may have mistaken technological savvy for research readiness. Many of them thought these new graduates needed greater depth and variety of their research skills, and that these digital natives too often were tethered to their computers, and they wanted more than just the quick answers from online search engines, but the graduates were doing with just a few keystrokes, and they wanted more depth in traditional research methods, including using the telephone to get more information. And finally, for the employers involved in this study, they understood that today's workplace still requires a strategy that imagines all possible answers. A comprehensive research approach is essential because it solves immediate information problems, but it also sheds light on related issues critical for future work, which becomes the lifeblood of any organization. In conclusion, I would agree that today's general workplace is certainly much more digitally connected and networked than it has ever been in our history, and that information continues to be a key asset and commodity in this global information age. But the employer's list of skills they are looking for in the HEAD report also has many more skills that have no immediate relationship to computers, broadband, and the internet, like working in teams and analyzing and organizing that information. Skills that I would argue do indeed mirror the Partnership for 21st Century Skills. I believe today's digital natives need to understand that while they have constructed their personal lives in a digitally networked lifestyle, that the work environment is not completely oriented in that direction today, and that business environment needs their digital skills along with their ability to work in teams. I also believe that my audience, those job seekers age 50 and older, our digital immigrants, needs to better understand that they bring a great deal to the work environment, those abilities to work in teams, do traditional in-depth research, but they also must close their digital skills gap if they want to be part of this digital information age. And for both groups, I would argue that one of the greatest skills I can bring to any organization or business is that 21st century information fluency. Too many people can find information easily today, but those who construct things of significance that Resnick talked about are what employers need most today.